Yeah, good evening, everyone from the United Kingdom. We are streaming from here. We are streaming all over the world. Good evening, good evening. Welcome to the Baobab conference. Baobab conference. I was corrected today. We've been calling it Baobab for some days. And we're corrected today. That is Baobab conference 2026. Wow, it's a great pleasure to have you join us tonight. If you can go to the chat box. Let us know where you are streaming from. Let us know where you are connecting from. Um, we'll be glad to have you. Let's just pray. Father, we thank you for today. Thank you for the opportunity you've given us, even to do this in your presence. Thank you, Lord, for giving our convener this insight for this leadership conference. We ask, oh God, that everything we are going to do will be done according to you, oh God, in the name of Jesus. And your people will be greatly blessed. In Jesus' mighty name we have prayed. Welcome once again. Welcome, 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 welcome. Please, oh, beautiful. Pamela is streaming from California. Thank you for joining us. We are very delighted that you are here. So please tell us where you are joining us from tonight. I'll be reading. Oh, somebody, Segun said from Kent. Thank you for joining us from Kent. If you're joining us from Nigeria, let us know. Joining from Nigeria, Joel Austin Achibong. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It's Baobab Conference, and the theme of this conference is culture shift. Culture. We have realized in life, that culture shapes behavior, culture shapes institutions, and culture shapes our possibilities. And we are going to learn over these few days on how the culture shift in our community and in the world at large, how we are going to fit in, and we are going to not just fit in, we are going to influence our world. All right. So where are you joining us from? Welcome, Michael Okereke from Kent, Florence from Kent, Abimbola from Kent, Edom from Kent, Prince from Kent, Oyida from Kent. Oh, so many people are joining from Kent. Thank you. Where are you joining us from tonight? And what are your expectations? What are your expectations tonight? It's going to be a great night. Our speakers for today, they are ready. They are prepared and ready for us tonight. And we trust God that it's going to be a good time in God's presence. So tell us where you are. Okay, Achibong from Kent. All right, beautiful. Phoebe from London, Tayo from Kent, welcome. There are so many people from Kent tonight. Okay, where everybody from Kent, Raphael from Kent, beautiful. I heard Dr. Olayinka from Nigeria. We see you, sir. We see you. Welcome to the Baobab conference. Fransax from United Kingdom. All right, beautiful. Adeshola from London, Sophia from Nigeria. Beautiful. We are going to have a great time. On behalf of our convener, Pastor Segun Kingsley, I want to welcome you tonight to the Baobab conference. It's the day one, and it's going to be mind-blowing. Yes, what God has in store for us. You know, the Baobab tree, when I was reading about it, they said it's often called the tree of life. Uti from Akwa Ibom. Beautiful. I'm sure that is in Nigeria. Thank you for joining us. All right. The Baobab tree is often called the tree of life because it stands through all seasons. You see, so the reason for this conference is to equip us to stand through all seasons of life, all seasons. All right. The Baobab tree is very deeply rooted, yet very adapted. All right. So the Baobab tree reflects who we are, and this conference is going to represent that. The Baobab tree represents who we are. We are supposed to be deeply rooted in God, deeply rooted in information and knowledge, and yet we are able to transcend through all generations. Thank you for joining us tonight. Thank you. Keep it coming, please. If you can, if you have the link, share that link with someone right now. Share that link with someone. Let someone benefit from what God is going to teach us, what is going to happen tonight. Share the link. Let's share the link. Let's keep sharing the link. Please copy the link wherever you have it from WhatsApp. Share it to your friends. Share it to your neighbors. And we are going to have a great time. And again, let me go back to the chat box. Tell me where you are watching from tonight. I see you. Um, so please go to the chat box and tell us where you're watching from tonight and where you're connecting from and what your expectations are. We'll do that for the next 5 more minutes. Then we will bring our convener, Pastor Segun Kingsley, who is going to really introduce us to why we are here. Why are we here? Okay. Yinka George from Kent, thank you for coming. Yinka Oderemi from Dartford, beautiful, thank you. Omoto Yossi from Gillingham, you're welcome, you're welcome. We appreciate you and we are glad that you have joined us tonight. Please share the link right now. Share it in all the groups that you are. I know you share links in groups, you share prayer links. So share this link to them too. It's going to be very beneficial to them. Please share the link. Share the link. Thank you for coming. This gathering is more than a conference. It's not just a conference. It's a catalyst. It means that as we are equipped, we go into the world. We structure our world. We change our world. We change cultures. We shift cultures. All right. That is why we are doing this. Uzo and Kubiro from Kent, thank you for coming. Eugenia from Geneva, wow, thank you. I see you. Toyin from Dartford, Precious and Emmanuel from Rochester, thank you so much for joining us. Kemi from London, we are glad that you have joined us. If you have not shared the link, please share the link to someone. Share the link to someone. We want the numbers to keep rising. Let the numbers keep rising. It's rising and I like it, but it has to rise more. Let the numbers keep rising. All right. We have 3 more minutes before we bring our convener. Pastor Segun Kingsley is ready for us tonight. And guess what? Tonight we're going to be having one of our guests who is going to teach us and inform us about the evolution of AI. You see, AI is taking over. You know, I heard a song that AI did recently, and I was scared. I know you should be scared too. AI did a song from beginning to the ending, instrumental, harmony, and everything. So we need to plug into that possibility of AI, and we're going to be starting that tonight after our Father in the Lord. Okay, let me take you through how we're going to run tonight so you have your expectations. In the next 2 minutes, we're going to bring our first speaker, which is our Pastor Segun Kingsley, who is going to introduce us to what we have tonight and what we're going to have over this conference. We'll bring our speaker, and afterwards, I will introduce our next speaker, Mr. Godslove. Wow. See, you don't want to miss that session. Trust me. And you have to share the link to somebody that needs to say it. We're going to bring Mr. Godslove. Then we'll have Q&A. There will be question and answers. We're going to do this. If you have a question, you throw it to the chat box. Or if you want to ask that questions personally, you raise your hands and we are going to be unmuted. So get ready for that. And after the questions, we'll have the closing. I'll go over it again. Right now, we're going to have our convener in the next 1 minute, Pastor Segun Kingsley. Then I will introduce the next guest, Mr. Godslove, who is going to teach us and inform us about AI. Then I'll come back for our Q&A session. So keep your questions ready. All right. Keep your okay. The audio is low. It's very low. We will increase the volume. We will increase it. Thank you very much for that feedback. We will increase the volume. All right. Then we'll have our Q&A session is very important. We're going to have it, and keep your questions coming in the chat box and I'll note them. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to invite, I wanted to say to invite on stage, but to invite on this call our Father in the Lord, Pastor Segun Kingsley, who is the convener of the Baobab conference. Please, if you can, go to the chat box, clap your hands in the chat box, get excited because he can see you. Let him know and let him feel welcome. Over to you, sir. Over to you, sir, Pastor Segun Kingsley. Thank you. Let him feel excited. Let him feel welcome. Go to the chat box and say, thank you. Welcome, sir. Thank you for putting this together. Yeah, I can see you. You can do better. You can do better. Over to you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so very much, man of God. truly, truly appreciate you. Thank you, everyone who has joined this platform at the start of this Baobab conference. This is the maiden edition. Thank you for the people that joined from Geneva, Pamela from California, all my people that I'm seeing from Nigeria, a daughter of mine from Ghana. We want to appreciate every one of you. Thank you so very much. And I am believing God that this section will be beneficial to you greatly. And I mean greatly. To start with, let me quickly say what we are expecting over the next few days. Today is the first day of the conference, and what that says to me is that we're opening up the program tonight, and the person who God of Heaven is using tonight for us is one of my brother, my friend, whom I have seen evolve over the years. He started a little complaint here, and then I remember then I would sit down with him and his wife, and I would say, "Sir, you can do this, blah, 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 do. And at the advent of Shepherd Hill, group or conglomerate to them, it was right there. Then he left London to go to the Silicon Valley in California with his wife. And he's doing extremely well there. And he's one of the people that are championing A1. I'm sorry, I said A1, AI. I'm sorry about that. AI. And for me, the major issue here is this. Everything is changing rapidly. The church is changing. Demography is changing. Society is changing. Life is changing. And I felt that it's high time while we hold on to spirituality, while we believe God for, let me call it the divinity. There is the place of humanity that every one of us needs to jump into. You know, the days where some of us are growing up, the richest men in the world are either commodity dealer, farm produce dealer, oil magnate, but things are changing rapidly, that a lot of startups are coming up, and the selling up of this startup is wiping millions out of the financial industry. And so is life. So is destiny. So is the culture. And because I've seen everything change rapidly over the years, as an entrepreneur, I said to myself, if as an individual we do not move on time, a lot of us might realize we are out of sync. And that's why I believe God for the conference that we are batting, which is Baobab Conference, which is a growth and evolution conference. And you are going to be hearing from us every year. You're going to be hearing from us maybe quarter, but the main conference will be once in a year. So you're welcome. I will ask that my slide comes up now so that I can run through a few things with you. So if I can have my slide, I will appreciate. So I will also read at my own end here. So I said in the section 1, which I'm just introducing to us, what I titled A Cultural Shift. So I said a cultural shift. I believe this slide will be put on. So I said the cultural shift represent a significant transformation in a societal belief, behavior, and particularly over time. The invisible engine of culture, which is what everybody grows up with, which is what everybody lives with, the culture that shapes everybody. I say it's been driven by recognizable pattern and forces impacting how society evolves over time and shape our beliefs and values. There's what we call the technological advancement, which has disrupted a whole lot of things. You know, you have people saying, my friends on Facebook. Before, you have to leave your house and go to a particular address to see your friend. But now you have people having followers on social media platform in thousands, and people are celebrating that now I have 1,000 followers, 10,000 followers, 1 million followers. So there is a shift, a complete shift from how we all used to have friends. There's an economical shift where the money follows. There is a ripple in the world system, which is the society change. We know what happened post World War II that created middle class crisis. We know what happened in the economical change in 2008. And of course, we know what happened in post-2019, the pandemic time. So things are rapidly changing. And so I bring this to a note by saying to us that if you don't move with the technological advancement, particularly the church, particularly the families, and particularly individual, you will just suddenly realize that you are becoming either obsolete or you are out of tune. I am one of those people who don't believe in IT. But I suddenly realize I'm beginning to get to a junction when I'm at the mercy of everybody. And nobody tells me before I jumped up to live up to the expectation. Because of time, so that I don't encroach into the time of the next person, I want to share with us a little bit about complaints that refuse to move. There are other materials that we are going to leave on the platform for people to look at. But I just want to look at few complaints who actually miss the shift when there's a shift and they refuse to move with the flow of the shift. And what then happens is that they do not only become obsolete, they went completely into oblivion. And the first complaint I'm going to be talking to us about is Blockbuster and Netflix. I'm not here to teach you the story. The story is all over the internet. So it's not particularly about teaching you the stories of how Netflix approached Blockbuster. But Blockbuster, because of the late payment fees that they get from people who refuse to return the media instrument in their hands on time, they refuse to see the future. Netflix came and said, you know what? You don't need to drive down to the mall. You don't need to drive down to the supermarket. You don't need to drive down to Blockbuster office. You don't need to pay late fees. You don't need to subscribe. Guess what? Let's just come to your home, the comfort of your home, at the comfort of your time, you can watch whatever you like. And by 2010, Blockbuster became history. I'm sure we all know Kodak. The sad part of it is the thought that when Kodak started, put money into the hands of a lot of companies. Everybody had one company. As regard, you know how when you've taken a picture, you bring the film out, you go and watch, the airstream, prints, and all the stuff. And the sad part of Kodak is that one of the founders of Kodak, Eastman Kodak, actually invented digital camera. Eastman Kodak invented digital camera, but he refused to embrace what he invented. And all of a sudden, there's a shift from the normal camera that we are all used to smartphone. No need for physical album. Everything becomes a storage on social media. Before you know what is happening, Kodak becomes history today. AI adoption is reshaping job, products, and the analytical comprehension of AI is beyond comprehension. This afternoon, myself and my team, while we were preparing for this maiden conference, we talked about flyers. And one of us just stood up on AI, put a topic into the thing, and he designed a flyer. And you know, much more than before, my heart sank again. That very soon, if the people who are into media publication, if they are not careful, they will soon also be out of job. Of course, we all remember the story of Nokia. Remember when I came into London, the only phone out of every 10 people you see in the hand of 9 will be Nokia. And I still remember there is one they call e-communicator, E90 communicator. I still have that phone, like one of my antique products in my house till tomorrow. What happened to Nokia? In fact, the last MD, the last CEO, Stephen Hellop, said this concerning Nokia. He said there's nothing we are supposed to do that we didn't do. But we just did not live and shift when we ought to shift. When iPhone came up with their own operating system, iOS, when Samsung, that was the least of all the handset. In fact, Motorola is more better. People will actually buy Motorola those days in the late 90s. After Nokia, if you don't have the money, you want to buy Motorola, not Samsung. But then they come up with Android. And before you know what is happening, Nokia and its own operating system, which is an operating system that flows on Microsoft, Numia, suddenly become out of vogue because the way the other apps was able to adapt to change and bring in a whole lot of things, Nokia couldn't match. One of my sons said this afternoon that that Samsung is actually no more a phone. He said they are a machine gun. And my question is this, as I drop at this junction. The time is ticking, moving, running, and flying. If you don't look inward and see what you can change about yourself, about your organization, about your spiritual center, about your church, about your organization, about how you do things, you will soon become outdated. And this conference is purposely to gear every one of us up so that we become relevant like a baobab tree that becomes relevant across all generations. In drought, in any season, a baobab remain constant. And that's the reason why this conference is coming to you. I will be taking my exit at this junction. And the first section today will be done by a brother of mine, like I said to you, who God of Heaven has helped to be one of the back end in the AI analytical products in California and Silicon Valley. Thank you very much. I look forward to a great time, even as this conference goes. And tomorrow we are going to have one of the men that built a company from the scratch to the topmost level. And I pray that at the end of this conference, you will have been equipped, fired up, and ready to run. God bless you.
Wow, wow, wow. Awesome, awesome, awesome. How was that for you? What an introduction. What an introduction that is. It means that we are in for a great time. We are in for a time of change. We are in time for a time of shift. Wow. All right. Please go to the comment section. Tell me what you have heard. What has resonated with you in all that our pastor, our daddy has said. You know, what really, really stood out for me. He said, look inwards and see what you can change about yourself. That's the cultural shift we are talking about. Look inwards and see what you can change about yourself. So think about it. What have I been doing that needs to shift? What have I been doing the same way that needs evolution? What have I been doing that needs a change? I've been thinking about myself. I do music, and I've been thinking, have I been doing things the same way and I'm expecting a different result? Is it time to shift? Is it time for a culture shift? All right, so it's beautiful. I really, really thank you so much, sir, for this, for putting this together. You know, Pastor Segun Kingsley is not just a pastor. You know, we have to call him pastor because that's what he is. But he's a giant in the marketplace. And, you know, if for putting this together, it took a lot for him. So we really want to say thank you, sir. Please go to the comment section and say thank you. Yeah, somebody said change, Olumide, change is constant and recognizing times and seasons is vital. Thank you, Olumide. Thank you, Olumide. Adebayo Dada said, be agile. Yes, so be agile, be ready. Be ready every time. So what has resonated with you in all that our daddy has said tonight? I'll give 1 more minute for that. What has resonated with you before we call in our next guest who is ready for us? You know, okay. Pamela said, everything is being disrupted. Oh, I didn't see that again. Okay, Honorable said, change is now. Yes, don't wait. Change is now. Don't wait. Don't wait until don't wait until everything leaves you before you change. Change is now. Okay. Okay. Pamela said, when everything is being disrupted, don't be rigid or caught unawares like Blockbuster. Yes. Remember when we used to buy video CDs? Can you remember that? When we used to rent DVDs. And I mean, in my own space as a musician, remember when we used to print CDs for people to listen to? When people used to launch CDs and hawk CDs and force CDs on people. Now nobody uses CDs anyway. Now imagine a musician still selling CDs at this time and age. And I'm sure you'll be shocked that people are still doing that. All right, so I'm going to bring up our next guest. I'll read his profile and changes now. Thank you. Lolade said, my takeout is there is need for discernment. Yes, you should know when to shift. You should know when to move to the next level. Beautiful. Thank you so much. Olawumi said, people fear that AI. It has come to take their jobs, but they had the chance It but had come to enhance how we work. Yes, it has not just come to replace people, but it's come to enhance how we work. Oloyede said BlackBerry was rendered obsolete because of refusal to accept evolution and change. You know, I used to be one of those people that loved keypads. That was why I liked BlackBerry. BlackBerry had keypads. I didn't know there would be a day where I'll have a phone without a keypad. I thought it will come. But it's here, all right? We have to embrace change. Thank you so much, sir. Use AI to your advantage. Don't leave it too late. Bukola said, Jimasun. I like that. Jimasun. Wake up, wake up. That's what that means. Wake up. Evolve or die. Well, I would say evolve or stay stagnant. Evolve or stay stagnant. Be flexible and respond to change. Thank you so much, guys. If you have not shared the link, please share the link right now to someone. Share it to the group that you are, share it to your family group, share it to your friends, share to your enemies, share to everyone. Let them be a part of what is happening here tonight. Is hot. I mean, Netflix came and nobody went buying CDs again. Even, do you know that even cinemas are empty? People don't go to the cinemas like before again because you can just watch in the comfort of your home, look inwards and see what you can change. I'm going to read the profile of our next guest. Mr. Godslove Chinekwe is a UK-based product design leader and AI design engineer. He's now based in the United States. He has designed and led AI-powered product initiatives across UK and US. Wow. He has worked for global organizations including Apple, Dell, Verizon, Trulio, and Glue. Beautiful. Wow. He is the founder of Vidorena.cloud, an AI platform that creates AI generated videos. I'm sure you've been seeing those kind of videos. Everybody uses it for adverts these days. Films and media content that focuses on helping leaders understand how AI is reshaping the culture. Is shaping influence and decision making in this new era. Ladies and gentlemen, join me as I welcome Mr. Godslove all the way from the United States. Good evening from the United Kingdom, sir. We can hear you loud and clear, sir. Yes, we can. We can see your screen, sir.
Six. I'm taking this session on AI um, because obviously I'm into AI a lot. And so my topic starts with what should we build? Um, I want to put it out to us that we have passed the stage where skills used to be the problem, where you would say, I can't build this because I don't know how to code or I don't know how to do this. We're entering into the place where it's, do you know what to build? Like, can you come up with ideas? Because now the skills are out there, they're very available. Um, I titled this, What Should We Build? Fate, AI, and the Era of Solo Creator. We're in that area. As we go into the conversation, I will explain further. Okay. My mouse. So I want to tell a little bit about my story. I think Pastor has mentioned it, but I want to talk a little bit about my story. So I started as a design architect. You know, I design houses in Nigeria. One of the projects I worked on was the first Dunamis church. You know, then From there, I moved to the UK, started a graphics and print company. We were printing things for the church market. We had a magazine that was like Ovation, used to cover church events. We're trying to push the conversation, trying to push what the church was doing forward. And obviously, we're making, therefore, also to make money. It wasn't for free. So, in business as well. Then I moved into software design in UK. I worked for companies like British Airways, HSBC, consulted with them. And by the grace of God, we were able to relocate to California. In California, I also continued in what they call product design, which is also software design, but the product mindset. And then you would see my trajectory. There's always this eagerness to change, to look at what is happening and adapt to it. I'm saying this slowly so we can understand. My story here, if you look at it carefully, from architect to graphics to software, software and product design. And then in the US, I started talking, focusing on things like no-code builders or no-code development. This is before the time of AI, which is how can you build a product or a software without necessarily having to code? Because some of these codes are already on what they call code exchange, where you can copy the code. Why do we have to keep copying the same code and trying to build something new? Is there a way we could do a DIY, drag and drop situation? And so we built a whole business, a whole company based on using low code or no code builders to build applications. So you could build what would take a team of developers, maybe 6 months, 1 year, you could do it in 2 months and the same quality. Then came the era of AI. This is about 3 or 4 years now. When AI came, it was like, I would say, it's kind of gave us all the skills, all the possibilities that you couldn't have before. Everything I've been working towards, I've been working through, seems to all converge. Suddenly, the skills are available, the APIs are available. Okay, let me just say skills, the possibilities are available. The question now is, what are you going to do with it? AI wasn't just, for me, it wasn't just another tool. It was the ultimate tool. It was the thing that would make everything else I've been working on be like a warm-up. And I hope it will be the same for you. So let's just go further a bit. So AI is a very big word, and it's a very big word today. It covers a lot of things. Covers robotics, computer vision. So robotics, we all know robots, right? Terminator, robots that can cook for you, that can make pizza, that can wash your clothes, robots like that. And then computer vision, computer vision comes into play when you have your Tesla that can drive itself. You're on motorway, you don't have to hold the steering and it's driving itself. That's computer vision. Machine learning, natural language, there are several areas. But today, I'm going to focus on what we call generative AI, which is the most common one where, you could write documents, you could generate images, videos, you can build apps, you can think, analyze, do, in-depth intelligent thinking, research, strategize, content creation and all that good stuff. So that's the focus I'm going to focus on today. Okay. The world has changed faster than we expected. And this is in the line of generative AI. We have if there's so many models coming up. By models, I mean the engine or the brain that is powering some of the stuff you see. I'm just keeping it simple. One thing I want to push across is do not be don't be scared of the fancy name. You will hear things like models, reinforced learning, you know, I'm going to think about, they're just simple concept, but, with a good label so that it sounds very deep. So we have like tools like Opus 4.6. This is a Claude tool that's used for coding. It's right now we are version 4.6. It's so powerful that it's nearly 100% perfect in coding. And this has changed within the last 2 years. We're virtually seeing an increment every 2-3 weeks, monthly. If you relax in this field for 2 weeks, you're already behind. In the field, in this generative AI, what you know 2 weeks ago is already old. I just want to build up to that, your expectations of what is happening. It's not scary, it's just something you have to keep abreast of. We have GPT 5.6. GPT is part of the ChatGPT or the OpenAI world. We have Grok. Grok is by the founder of Twitter, X, Elon Musk. And we have Seed Dance. This is the most powerful video generation model. This tool can create videos 15 seconds from just one prompt. Okay, what's the elephant in the room? Yes, the elephant in the room. We've heard all the doom stories. We've watched Terminator. I have watched Terminator. I hope all of us have watched Terminator. The robots are coming. They're going to take over the world, all that good stuff. The truth is this: AI is not coming for your job. It's already here. That's the truth. There's 55,000 US job cuts cited in AI for AI in 2025. Jobs that have been cut because of AI. 85 million jobs that have been replaced by AI. 50% of entry-level white-collar jobs are at risk within the next 5 years. What are you going to do about this information? It sounds scary. It brings fear. You're thinking, am I going to have the job I had yesterday? How am I going to feed my family? But just bear with me. I'll show you the opportunity within this news. If you read below, you see, here's what they don't tell you. 55% of employers regret AI layoffs because the technology still needs people to be valuable. Many are quietly rehiring. AI replaces tasks, but not callings. You have to understand that as humans, we still have subject matter expertise that the AI can't be replicated except you are part of it. I'm going to go deeper later. So AI is going to change our work, but are we ready? Are we going to be part of that change, or are we just going to be pushed aside? It depends on what we do with the information and the opportunities that we have. A lot of us will see it as risk. Okay, AI is going to take everything. There's a doom scroll. I see it as fantastic opportunities. New roles, new jobs are going to come up. Okay, there's this saying that's popular: AI won't replace you, a person using AI will. Okay, this is facts. In my career, like I mentioned, I went into product design where we design products and stuff. But I see quickly that you can now use AI to create these products. You can use AI to code something very fast. A lot of the people in the industry gave up, and they didn't do anything with that information. But others have moved in where become the people that use the AI to create this content. completely bringing a new type of job and with higher pay, a new business mindset with ridiculous opportunities. I'll show you more. So I wrote here, don't compete with AI, direct it. The highest paid workers in 2026 aren't avoiding AI. They're the ones who use it the best. Jobs requiring AI skills pay 25% more. Okay, I'm going to talk about jobs and I'm going to talk about businesses or entrepreneurship so we can have a balanced view. Okay, number 2, develop what AI can do. Think about what is it that we carry. I say use your own natural AI and think, what is it that AI can't replicate? What is it that AI can't completely replicate, and see how you can develop that. See how you can add that to your repertoire, to your tool list. It will make you more valuable in the marketplace. Number 3, this is really important. Almost most people are AI consumers. Please, please try to become a creator. Don't be a consumer. If you can use AI to create or become an AI creator, you become on a different level than just the consumer. So I'm talking about building products. I'm talking about building businesses, building your own AI, creating AI tools that will solve problems that you know that the AI doesn't know about. Creating AI tools that will solve problems in your community, in your specialized knowledge area that the guys at OpenAI don't have a clue about. So please, let's take our mind away from the concept of consumer or consumeration or just consuming this product to creating, to building. That's the fundamental shift that will kind of guarantee the future in a way concerning AI. Number 4, a lot of us will think, this AI has gone. Oh, I'm coming late. Look at where ChatGPT is now. How can I join? And there's so many of them. Perish the thought. Do not bother. This is the time to start. The best time to start was yesterday. The second best time is now. Not when you're laid off. Start it now. Even if you've been laid off, start it now. Okay, fun fact. Do you know, Pastor was talking about Blockbuster. It's interesting to know, I did a consultancy job with a new company that was started by the CEO of Blockbuster, Scott Beck. And guess what his company is about? It's called Glow AI. They build, they take your typical AI products you have and then they fine tune it to match the Christian mindset. Their ethos is that if you go into ChatGPT today as a Christian, you would see all sorts of stuff that are not relevant, not true, not flourishing for the human. And so his whole company, and they've just gone public again, is to change that narrative and fine-tune the AI that we use today. So it looks like the Blockbuster CEO that we've read about has learned his lesson seriously, and he has jumped on the bandwagon of AI. Building, not just consuming, to build. So take note of that. Just a fun fact. His name is Scott Beck. You can check him out. So today, the top engineers at companies like Apple, Google, don't code by hand anymore. They all use AI tools. They all code using tools like Claude Code, OpenAI, Cursor, and you can do the same. Okay, you need to understand some basic things, but you can do the same. So the question is no longer can we build it, as in I'm not a developer, I don't know all this IT stuff. These things are beyond me. It's for the new graduates. No, it's no more can we build it. The question is what should we build? The tools are available. It's no longer, we're no longer restricted by the skills. It's really now, can you figure out what you can build and then tell an AI to help you build it? Okay. There's a betting pool in Silicon Valley right now. They're saying that they're all talking about the first $1 billion solo entrepreneur company. That is one person that takes an AI tool like Cloud Code and builds a product that earns or is valuated at $1 billion. It's already happening. Note what I'm saying. You as an individual can become an entrepreneur or a business owner, build an AI solution that can earn this kind of money or close to it. It's something that was really difficult to fathom in the past, but we are living on a new frontier. Question is, are we just going to let it pass us by or what? And you don't have to be a former tech, maybe developer or product designer or coder to do this, to enter into this position or this vertical, right? So there's a betting pool. People are talking about when is the next $1 billion one-person business or entrepreneur can come in. Obviously, you can hire more people, but your AI can really do it. We talked about how AI is transforming every sector, healthcare, finance, education, coding, even cooking. So the question now is, what is it that we know? What pain point have we seen? What opportunities or values or missing gaps have we seen that we once thought maybe this thing, if somebody can just do something that can solve this thing, it will really be better. This is your opportunity now. This is the time when anybody from a mom with her babies that stays at home taking care of the children can take a laptop or her phone and build a product. And that product can get marketed. The AI can even help you market it, sell it, collect payment for you, and then you can enter into this club of the $1 billion solo entrepreneur. So yeah. So talking about the one-person businesses, I want to give you some examples of real life situation. There's a guy called Shlomo. This guy built a tool called Base 44. He basically used Cloud Code to build a tool that others can come to and code websites and stuff. Solo. He just looked at what was existing and thought, how can this be done better? How can it be done better? There's a lot of tinkering. How can somebody come and build a website faster than before? And that was just his project, and he was doing it solo. I watched his stuff, and he built it in 5 months. People put it on Twitter, and people started signing up because they loved it. Because there's a demand to build AI, to build websites, and it was so easy to build because he'd solved most of the problems that other tools like Lovable, Bolt, and Replit, and the rest of them had. And this guy got enough marketing. He had over 250K users. He was making profit. And then Wix, you must have seen Wix that advertised, bought it for 80 million. One-person business. 5 months. One person. That could be any one of us. That could be you. That could be anybody. That could be a 12-year-old that can read. The moment you can read and write, you can do this. So it could be anybody. Okay, 3-4 weeks ago, a tool came up called OpenClaw. This guy called Peter Sternberger Use Claude Code again. These are tools that are available to anyone. Use Claude Code again and build this agent. But he didn't just build a typical agent that you can just build website, but this agent can do so many other things. It can take actions for you. It can buy you, it can send messages for you. You can talk to it on your WhatsApp or your Telegram, and it can go and buy stuff for you. It can set up a website for you, build the website for you, put a Stripe account and sell the product, and you can make money. It's like your assistant doing the real stuff. Okay. Obviously, we'll talk more about that, and we'll show you the limitations, we'll show you the issues and the opportunities too that came up. It went viral very fast because everybody has been talking about agents. Agents are tools that theoretically are supposed to go and do stuff for you, like make phone calls, book a phone for you, book a taxi that will take you to the airport, check when you're arriving in your hotel, make sure the hotel is booked, make sure that there's somebody, an Uber is going to go and wait for you at the airport, all that complicated stuff. It's been theorized that agents can do this. But this guy built this OpenClaw and it worked. And the industry went wild. OpenAI, signed him up quickly and got him to put OpenClaw in their tool set. But here's the uncomfortable truth, because we're Christians. So I'm going to talk about the Christian part of this and also the business point of view. AI without a Christian worldview, there's a lot of AI without a Christian worldview. The question is, you see some models, you interact with it, and it's talking about higher power rather than God, mindfulness rather than prayer. It's kind of watering the belief. Are we going to just sit down there and let it happen? If we don't get involved in this industry, those guys are not going to do it for us. It was said in the past that the church usually gets involved, or church members or the church usually gets involved into technology late. It happened with television. It happened to website. Let's not allow it to happen with AI, because the next generation are going to be learning from AI. Our kids are going to be learning from AI. A lot of things are going to be based on this AI. If we leave it, we might be surprised on what is going to happen. So that's also an opportunity. There's an opportunity right there, complete business value proposition that we could use, whereby we can build AI or build tools that corrects the secular knowledge or secular interpretation of who God is and what God, the kingdom in AI. That's one. There's a lot of AI without moral guardrails, security issues, things that just allow any child to interact with it. That's also another product opportunity that we could go into. The AI value cap. Okay, I'm still talking about the spiritual part of things. Research has shown that 61 out of 100 overall AI scores on values. Only 48 out of 100 are focused on faith or give real faith or spiritual dimensions. Or the faith dimension scored lowest across all major AI models. So if you really interact with these AI models and you start to dig deep into things that have to do with God or the Christian faith, you will see that there's a lot of the dimension and the accuracy is really low, which is a risk factor. Another opportunity for us Christians to do something about it. The market for the Christian market is huge. This is across the United States, across the world. If you can build a product that can correct this data, you have a waiting and hungry market that can come and buy your product. So what can a person who loves God do? You can build value-added aligned AI tools, like I mentioned. You can create content that carries truth. Okay, let me give you a fun fact. Okay, so I have 3 girls. When they were growing up, I was really worried about what was available online, things like Disney, Netflix, and stuff. So I found a Christian cartoon network called Superbook. So I bought all the series, all these DVDs to make sure they had all the series. And they love this so much because it visualized the whole Bible story. They had books that they were reading, and this is how these children learned more of the Bible, than anything else. But I noticed that it was just one company. There was no other company doing it. I searched and searched. There was no other serious company that does that. And I started looking at myself and I started thinking, I was just complaining about it. And somebody said, why don't you solve it? So when AI came up, I saw it as an opportunity to solve that problem. Create Christian videos, content, movies that tell the Christian narrative for any audience and at Hollywood quality. So that's an opportunity there that you can use AI to do. I remember the first time I was thinking, wow, that means I have to go and get camera, I have to get this and that, I have to go and take a course in maybe Hollywood. We live very close to LA here, this and that. It looked unsurmountable, it looks like something that can't be done. But with AI, I will show you how possible it is. You can build businesses that bless people, um, several businesses, and then you can build businesses that teaching the next generation to use AI wisely. That's also another tool. Just teaching the next generation what are the safeguards, the security things to look out for when you are using AI. How can you use it safely? A lot of parents know that this AI is coming, but they don't understand the risk involved. We just hear war stories. Some children who listen to character.ai and the AI told them to do some nasty stuff and they self-harm themselves, all that kind of stuff. It's worrying. And some parents think, wow, that will happen to my child, but you'll be surprised what's happening. These children consume this AI. That's a business opportunity there. That's an opportunity we could go into. Okay, so I'm going to talk about my answer in action. I'm going to talk about what have I done, an example of what I've done in this sector to help solve this problem. So I started a startup called videorena.cloud. It's a platform that makes it easy to create videos. You can create any video, to be honest, but the way my target audience was to build a Christian narrative. So how did this start? So like I said earlier on, I was looking at my children, I was thinking I need to give them more Christian content, and there wasn't enough. Movies, interesting stuff. There was competition between the regular stuff you see on Netflix, Prime and all that, and there wasn't much on Christian stuff. So I started doing these videos manually, just like a consumer. I would go there, go to Midjourney, create image, put sound, but it took so long. I mean, by the time I've done with my day business and all that, my weekends are gone. It's interesting what you can produce, but it was taking too long and I wasn't able to create it as much as I wanted. So I thought, Kim, why don't you solve the problem? Why don't you build an AI that can do the thing? You just give it the story you want and it does everything. And that's how Videorena was born. I'll show you a few of the content we've done. And that's how Videorena was born. And guess what? It's something anybody could do. Well, if you put your mind to it, because you have to do it. Some things might work, some things might not work. But like I said, you jump into it, right? Okay, so this is also showing this solo creator model. The time of saying I'm waiting to get this big funding. Yeah, you could get funding, or you could just jump in and start doing stuff. All you need is your computer, access to maybe something like Cloud Code and the determination to see it through. So a little bit about Videorena. Videorena is a video AI agent. So basically meaning that the agent can go in there and do whatever you want. And all you have to do is just tell it and it will do it end to end. It could even post it for you on social media if you want that level. Okay, so I'm going to show an example. This is how it looks. This is a screenshot of the front and on the side. Okay, I'm going to play this. This is one of the videos that we created, that it creates. It's a UGC video. Hold on. Okay, this is actually how it looks. So when you go in there, you can see all the videos that have been generated. But let's see this one. Make it bigger so we can see it.
This little bottle right here is my
Let me start from the beginning. So this is one of the agents in Video Arena. So you go to Video Arena, you have a product, like, you have a product or you have a customer that has a product and they need to market it. We've seen some of this online, but this is something that you could build as opposed to being a consumer where you have to go to ChatGPT and just ask ChatGPT to do it. Why don't you, and ChatGPT makes money every time you go there and you ask it to create something for you. Why don't you create your own tool? That's why I'm saying it. Why don't you create your own tool so you get paid when people come and use it? So this is one of the outputs.
Hey, so I wasn't planning to film today, but I just finished my skincare routine and I realized I've been using this serum. I wanted to share this Daliano serum with you all. I've been using it for a few weeks now and my skin has never felt better. It absorbs so quickly. This little bottle right here is my secret weapon for a glowing complexion, especially during these cozy months indoors.
Okay, so did you all hear that? Was it audible? Was that audible?
Yes, it was.
Oh, you could hear it. Okay, great. Okay, great. So Video allows you to, you could come in here. Let me open this. I'm going to close this. So the way I thought about it was, okay, build it as, so I was just thinking, how would people want to create a video? I didn't want to make it technical. Typically if you go to a designer or maybe a video person and you wanted them to do something for you, you sit beside them and say, okay, make it like this, let him jump a bit more, put a little fire there, this and that. So I use that model, but instead you're talking to an agent and the agent, you'll be telling you what you want. So like in this case, you start from the beginning and you first of all tell you the story you want. Maybe this is the story. This is the story I did about Eliza. So I looked at the story of Eliza, one of the warriors of David, and I wanted to bring it to life. So I looked at that story, wrote stuff with ChatGPT or whatever, you can ask it to write it for you. And then it just started generating it. It broke down the story into Eliza, different chapters, as you can see here, the different stories, and then created the content, did the characters, did the voice, conversationally. So it's talking to you, telling you, okay, this is what I'm going to do next. Okay, this is what I'm going to do next. You say yes or you say no. It's conversational. And on the right-hand side shows you the content that is created. Let's just play that quickly, just to give us a view. Okay. Almost cut off time. So imagine, so the concept of this video right now, which I'm trying to encourage us that any one of us can go into this. You can have a different problem to solve. You could think of a different issue. But I'm trying to tell you, if you get involved into this industry, you can build things like this. You don't necessarily have to be a developer or somebody who has been in the industry, but you could build, if you can envision an idea, this is possible. So imagine, so today people can come in here, tell a story of what they want, and they can build it, So let's go back to our conversation. Mr. Seji, how are we doing for time?
We're doing good. 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 We're doing good.
Okay, so okay. Okay, so great. Let me continue. So like I was saying, what can we build? So let me break that down. Go to share. So these are some of the other content that you can create. There's a let me know if you can see my screen here. Okay, you can see it. So some of the videos there. Three things you can do today. Ask the right questions. Define the workflow, the user, the outcome. Don't start with the demo. Start with the problem you're solving. Let us look at the situation we are in, the business we do. Some of us are business people. We work in organizations. We work maybe in accounting. We even own our business. Let's stop being consumers of this AI product and start to think, what's the problem? What's the problem we face there? I'm trying to say that there's a lot of opportunity because there are a lot of problems that has not been solved by AI. Even if you're working in a company today and you're thinking AI can take over your work, your job, you can turn that upside down and start thinking, what problem is in this company that I can build an AI product to and build it and show it to your boss? You'll be surprised how they will want you to remain. And if they say no, you can start your own stuff on the side, start your own startup. And maybe tomorrow somebody will just, somebody can pay $80 million for your product. So the question is, start with the problem you're solving. Identify the problem, whether it's in your business, whether it's in your home. Identify the problem. The tools are available. You see, I keep saying this, the tools are available. Identify the problem. Then build and ship. Don't be scared of it. There's so many tools out there. You can use Claude Code. There's so many. Just jump in, stick to one, and start building. I use multiple tools because I've been in it for a while, but like you can stick to one and start building. Obviously, learn the tools. Learn what you need, not everything. Just focus on a specific, subject matter. So if you're into accounting, just look for the tools. Just Google what AI tools are best for this or for building accounting solutions and build it. There's so many problems that are just waiting for somebody to milk it. Okay, the other day somebody approached me and was saying, like, okay, that they have loads of these real estate companies and they have a problem. Their problem is they get their bank statements as paper forms or paper, and they are thinking, how can that documentation be transferred to digital Excel sheets? And as he was talking, I was like, oh, you mean you guys still have that problem? And I whipped up a tool in one weekend, and cha-ching happened. So I'm just trying to say there's so many opportunities. There are a lot of things that have not been solved that are not even mainstream that you could take the opportunity, build it, and put it out there, market it, and then you're an entrepreneur making good profit and you're future proof, so to speak. Okay. Okay. So let's read the scripture, Ephesians 2:10. For we are God's workmanship, created in Christ Jesus to do good works, which God prepared in advance for us. Maybe this in advance, maybe God has destined that one of us here, or a lot of us here are supposed to build solutions that will transform our lives, the lives of many people. And this is an opportunity, but we are getting scared. We are thinking it's for those IT guys, or we're thinking, we started late, or I didn't do IT in school or whatever. I'm trying to say, maybe this is what the scripture is for. So the tools have never been more powerful. The question is, what will you build? So let me just show you a couple of the stuff that Christians, target towards Christians, since this is a Christian conference. We have YouVersion. We all use YouVersion for our Bible stuff. These are AI tools. They use the AI tools to synchronize what we're seeing. In fact, there's a new tool they are building in there that can auto-suggest the different commentaries, like Drake's commentaries in each scripture we read. This Pastor's AI helps pastors to create social media content from their sermons. It will break your sermons. You post your sermon, it will break it into bits and take the right stuff that you can put on social media to get more views. FaceTime, sermon shots. The other day, I was talking with a pastor friend who was saying that, why don't I still do flyers like I used to do that, blah, blah, blah. He really liked it. Now, these days, the designers he got, it's not like before. So what did I do? One weekend, I just thought, okay, build an agent that builds flyers with the thinking that I had. So I just sat down. What did I usually do that make the flyer stand out? And I reconstructed, I wrote it, and I used that to create a new agent in Vidurena. So you could just go there, you tell it, this is my name, go to my website and get this and that, and the AI will do it and build your flyer for you. So there are different opportunities. So some of the AI tools that we can use today, you have Claude AI, ChatGPT. So these tools are available, but I want us to push more, not just to ask a question, what's the weather, how much, where can I get the this and that, or ask it, okay, should I put, like, how do I cook a greasy soup, all those things. Let's push it to the next level. You can ask all those questions, but I want us to think about how can we become creators, use these tools to create. It's not just a consumer tool, it's a creation tool. You could use these tools to create competitions for these companies. You can build another Canva. We all use Canva. You can build another Canva. You've used it and you've seen pain points. You've seen things that maybe you felt it's not if only it could be done better. You can use Claude Code to build this. So the opportunities are ripe. So before you use any AI output, ask these 3 questions. Is it true? Even apart from being from a Christian background, before you use any AI tool, you understand that these tools hallucinate. Check whether it is accurate. If you're building an agent, check if that AI is trying to rip you off or is trying to sell, use maybe your data or your bank account without your knowledge. So there's a lot of hallucination going on there, right? There was a story that happened the other day. So somebody built an agent that was supposed to post stories on a particular article network. Now, this particular individual, the owner of the article network, always does human checks of whatever stories he gets before he posts it on the website. So the agent approached this person, sent the article, and the guy checked it and realized it was an AI that wrote it and said no, based on the fact that it was AI. This AI agent, because it has been tuned to succeed using whatever tools, went and researched the owner of that website, found his social media profile, read everything he has ever said, and started blackmailing the guy and started complaining that the guy is biased, is not allowing people to post stuff, people should stop using his tools, like a blackmail campaign against the guy. An agent was doing that. But the guy responded on social media that he knows that it's an agent doing it, and then that was how the story was killed. But what I'm trying to say is that there are people that are going to build these tools out there that they don't care. They don't really care. And it's scary, and it makes it that there's an opportunity for those of us who are concerned about what is true. You can also build an agent that will do the opposite or that will solve the same problem. Well, I'm just trying to say that we're entering an era where there's new problems, new frontiers, new needs. We need to get aligned with it so that we can fill those needs and solve those problems and get that. So that is like provide that value to all these problems. And we know once we provide value, we provide solutions, we have a business. Okay, so another thing is it loving? Does this is from a Christian point of view, and is it wise? Another scripture, whatever your hand finds to do, do with all your might. So what am I trying to say? When you go to use your AI to build your tool, let's say after this conference, you pick up Claude Code and you want to build your tool. Don't give up, because you will try one thing and it would build one application, and then you get stuck, and then you try it again. By next Monday, you say, this Mr. Godslove service, now because he don't do this thing for long, or he's been doing this for a long time, that's why he could do it. This is not for me. Don't give up. Are you sure you put in your might into it? Have you pushed it? Have you read online? Have you asked questions? So I'm just trying to say, I will encourage us to go into this AI, going from this conference, become creators, become builders, not consumers. And as you're doing that building action, you're going to get resistance. You're going to find out that, oh, maybe I didn't do it the right way. You have Google as your friend. You have YouTube as your friend. You can reach out to other people that are doing it. You can even ask AI to query why this is happening. Don't just give up. Make sure you put in your might into it so that it can give you results. So I'll say a simple homework. This week, use AI to solve one real problem in your life, your business, your church, or your home. Don't just go and ask AI, please, what's the spelling of hippopotamus, or stuff, consumer stuff. Actually look for a problem, ask the AI how to solve it. AI will tell you the theory of how to solve it, but now take it to the next level. I want to build an app that can solve this. You can even push it. Is there a way I can get a robot that can solve this? Who says you can't build a robot? Nobody said so. No, there's nothing stopping you from building a robot or an app that can solve it, or even an agent that can go and solve the problem. So in closing, I would say I believe someone in this room will build something with AI in the next 12 months that changes their trajectory. God bless you. Now go and build. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir. I like that last word. Now go and build. Wow. Thank you, sir. It's been an amazing time learning about all this insights you've given us about AI. If you have questions, please put your questions on the chat box for our facilitator tonight. I'm quickly going to ask the question, sir, and maybe you answer one after the other. Is that okay, or we should compile them?
Yeah. Let's make it interactive. That's fine.
Interactive, beautiful. And if you want to ask your question in person on Zoom, just raise your hands. The admins are going to let you unmute yourself. Okay. Let me start from the one. Somebody said, where can one learn how to become an AI creator? I mean, you've told us to start, but how can we start?
Okay. There's several places you could go on Google. You could go on YouTube. We do have an academy where we train people to become AI creators. we just did a cohort where we were training 10 years old. It was for junior people from 10 to, was it 10 to 15 years old. And it was a 3 months cohort where they were trained on how to use AI to solve problems, build solutions, and they were doing it for real businesses. It was like an internship thing. So we have that too, as the second other businesses we do, where we train people to do all that. But if maybe you want to start immediately because we don't have a cohort yet, you can go on YouTube and read up, watch videos and stuff. Well, you can reach out to me, let you know when we have our next cohort for the AI Academy. We have both for kids and we have for older people. Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much, sir. How did you build Vidorella.cloud?
Okay,
That's a $1 million question.
Okay, well, I use Cloud Code. At first, I started with a low-code tool, but it was taking too long. It was not taking too long in terms of if I was building it from maybe if the old method of building, but I started thinking, I need to do this thing faster. I need to create more possibilities, more features. I need a way for the stuff to go out there and do research for me and all that. So I decided to use Cloud. Yeah, that's how I built it. First of all, obviously, like I said, I kind of decided or researched what the problem was, what the pain point was, what I was trying to create, what is out there and what is not available. And I wrote a description of what I had in mind. And that was what I used to go to Cloud Code and started working on the solution over time. That's how I built it.
Okay. Thank you so much. Let me take one question from Oloyede Rashid very quickly. You've been asked to unmute. Please make it very fast, please.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir. My quick question is that what AI platform do you use basically to undo security vulnerabilities in AI built codes for financial applications and applications that are built with AI that undo sensitive data? How do you undo security? I know there are some AI apps that AI platform that can actually undo security, but which particular one do you think handles it best in terms of dealing with security, and you don't probably have to do too much to sort of like getting a cybersecurity expert or something to do it?
Okay, so it depends on how you want to approach it. There are two ways. You could use existing tools that will secure your stuff. Maybe there are existing AI tools that you can put into your code that will do security for you. You can go on that path, depending on how intricate it is. There are some projects you'll be working on, say for banks, that they need you to use a specific vendor to create that security. That's also possible. Or you could actually use the same AI you're using to build the tool to solve your problems. Right? You could use the same AI if you ask the right question, if you ask you understand the right tenants or the right areas where there might be a security leak, you could query your AI and you to solve the problem. Let me give you an example. So when I was building Vidorella, I started having some issues with my token codes. So every time I would get the API I was using, they would tell me it's been found to be exposed. So I started querying a couple of the AIs I used, like, okay, this thing seems to be exposed. How do I make it very secure? I don't want this to happen. I don't want this to happen. I started querying. Then I started, there are methodologies where you can get AIs to argue among themselves. That reduces hallucination. So I got my AIs to be arguing among themselves to get the best solution. And then I implemented that into my application to make sure it's more secured. So for example, Vidorella, the typical thing people do is that they will sign up and then maybe use the free credits then go to another computer and sign up, go to another computer and sign up. I didn't want that to happen. So I had to figure out a way to make sure that, okay, people are not, playing around with the tool. That you could ask your AI, query it, really query it, and it'll give you solutions. So yeah.
All right.
By the way,
Thank you.
for those that are asking where they can learn, you could go to braveachievers.com. I posted it on the channel, on the message, braveachievers.com. I have a lot of training for AI that you could make use of. Last year, the year before, we went to Nigeria. We did the conference, training people on practicals. Like, you come to the conference, you come in with your computer and your laptop, and we're doing it together. That sort of thing. That's the practical stuff. Go to globachievers.com. You can show your interest there, and whatever, see whatever you like to go through them. It's in the chat.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir. If you can help us put that on the chat box, it would be great. Thank you. Braveachievers.com. That is the website. All right. I will just read one more question, then we take another question live. I have a question about the next steps after identifying an AI opportunity. For example, I discover a manual HR process that I believe can be automated with AI. What should I do next?
Okay. Say you discovered that and you wanted to build a solution. The question now is, you research the problem, really identify the problem, make sure you can articulate what that problem is in a written form. I mean, if you don't like writing, you can take your phone, open ChatGPT, open the voice, and talk to your ChatGPT or whatever model you're using, and just start describing what you feel. This is a practical thing now. You just take it and, okay, so when we're doing HR, this always happens. We're always forgetting the file, whatever. Just describe it, and tell it to write what they call a PRD, or project requirement document for you. It will take all the stories you've told it, all the expressions, all the pains, and it will break it down. If you jump straight into Claude Code and start saying, build something for me, you're going to spend most of your credit if you don't articulate what the problem is. That's why you keep seeing me articulating the problem. So by articulating the problem is also writing out everything. So say you have done what I've just said, maybe you've spoken to your AI, told it all the things you feel, it comes up with a PRD. Then that PRD becomes your base. And you can take it to any of these other AI and say, okay, I want to build an app that can solve this. And on and on and on it goes. That's how you move on to next steps.
Okay, thank you, sir. Let me take one more live question, then I go back to the chat. Today, please unmute yourself quickly. You've been asked to unmute.
Yeah, thank you. Good evening, everyone. So my questions goes as starts. So everybody's going on to AI. So is it understanding how the tools will help you in creating a business, or understanding how to build the tool, maybe understanding the language model, the models that involves in building the tool? Which do you think makes more sense?
Okay. What I think makes more sense, that will bring more value. Everybody consumes AI today. I mean, if you've used Uber before, you were consuming AI maybe 6-7 years ago. They've been using AI since they started. That's why you say you want an Uber, you see the vehicle moving towards you. It calculates what's the closest vehicle, which one will pay them the most, and which is the best driver based on your profile, and it sends it to you. So we've been consuming AI for a long time. So I think the most value is, let's turn to the other side of the table. Let's come to the other side of the table and start creating solutions, either using AI or creating our own AI or fine-tuning the AI that we see. That's where the most value is. If we keep staying on the other side where we're consumers, we're just asking it to write maybe stuff for us, or write our resume and all that. That's consumer part. But if you come to the other side where you're building solutions, now you get paid just like OpenAI gets paid. So that, to me, and from what I've said, that's where the most value is. That's where the real hedge is, if you can go to the other side. I don't know if that answers the question.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much, sir. Um, is there a job opportunity for me as an AI artist and also a prompt engineer?
Yes. Let me give you facts. If you are an AI artist that can create movies or you can create videos like what I've done here, you know how to manipulate the tool. Let me give you some things that happened. A month ago, in Dubai, there was a competition set up by Google. They were paying $1 million if you could use Google AI to create a video and to win. If you're able to create it and you win the prize. So a lot of people put in their videos there. And the first guy won $1 million, the other person 500 and 250. That could have been any one of you. Right after that event happened, Grok, Elon Musk came up with another one. I think they were supposed to win, was it another $1 million too? Yeah, it was $1 million too. You could use Grok AI to build a video of your liking. Because they wanted to show people that go ahead and use Google, go ahead and use Grok. So the opportunities is right. You could get a job at that. There are jobs right now. If you look closely if you're an artist, you will see jobs for AI artists. The ability for you to use AI to create content or create videos, the jobs are rising. There's opportunities there. There's AI video editing. The opportunities are there and all that. So yeah, there are loads of opportunities. I just gave you those figures to show you if those companies can pay $1 million for just for you to create a video in a competition. Think about that mechanics. So, yeah.
All right. Thank you so much, sir. I'll ask one more question, then I'll direct this to PSK, to Daddy. Okay, one more question. The person that asked that question has another question. He said, second question is about taking an AI product to the market. For instance, if I build an AI solution that combines multiple tools used in an industry into one platform, instead of people using 4 to 5 different systems, how do I actually launch it and make it available to users? What are the recommended steps for putting this into the market?
Okay. Depends on the kind of product you're doing. There are two types of product you can think about. I can think about. You have maybe business to consumer. So you're targeting individuals, right? So consumers. There's another part, maybe your product could be targeting businesses. Depending on which one, the approaches might differ. But good news to you, the last 3 or 4 months, with the rise of agentic AI, there are a lot of agents that have risen up that can do the thing that you're worried about, that marketing part, that reaching out to people on LinkedIn, if you're targeting the businesses and getting them to go to your site, convincing them to either give you their lead and even talking to them, making phone calls before you eventually convert them. Usually today, if you wanted to market any business, you have a funnel. You have to think about how you get your leads. You have to think about how you clean up those leads, make sure they are paying customers. You have somebody that will talk to them, make sure that they actually have the money. Then the main salesperson comes in and converts them. There might be some practicals or proposals done, and then they pay, and all that happens. If it's a business product, if it's a consumer product, usually you convince the consumer, maybe they do a trial, they pay, and that's the end of it. But for the consumer, you're trying to get as much as possible. So those two funnels normally is a manual process. What I'm trying to tell you today, that there are agents that you can use that can do most of that part for you, particularly the first part, then pass you the need for you to convert, as in to really show them the product, like the way I showed you, I convince them to sign the dotted line. So the times when you probably think I need to get a salesperson, a marketer, somebody that would make the phone calls, you do all that with AI now. So those are the ways you can actually do the marketing for the product, depending on the target audience you have in mind.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir. Hello, what is the best way? I want you to quickly do this before I go to Daddy. What is the best way to validate and okay, what is the best way to validate and position an AI solution that it becomes attractive to investors and funding bodies at an early stage? I have already identified the real problem across the niche. My issue is funding, and it feels huge. How can I identify and attract investors?
Okay, one, you have social media. That's one way. Depending on the kind of product you have, you could do what they call, there's so many, there's so many. It will be impossible for me to exhaust all the methodology, but I can give you one or two. You could bid in public. So I'm not saying you should go and expose all your, all your gold and where you put your bank account and all that. But you could bid in public, which is you go on social media. Maybe if you're targeting businesses on LinkedIn, you say, okay, you're building this so and so tool. This is what you achieved today, and this is what you can do. Next day, you keep posting. This is what you did today. This is what you can. So you're building as if you're reporting to the audience. If you're reporting in somewhere like LinkedIn, you'll be surprised. Businesses that are interested in that kind of thing will start paying attention because the algorithm will push your content to them. And as you start building consistently, the key here is consistency. Not that you would do it today because you felt all charged up, and the next time is 2 weeks later, maybe a month later or 2 months later. You consistently build this. You start getting the right traffic coming to you. And one of them can be an investor. Those are methods. You could also go for accelerator groups. We have Y Combinator here in the States, and they have it all over the world. And you don't even have to be in the States to do that. If you think your product is that good and you build it and tested it, and maybe you've gotten 1 or 2 customers, or even if you haven't, you can present it in a Y Combinator competition, and they might give you funding. They give funding from 500,000 to 1 million, 3.5. If they feel like the idea you have and what you have said is so good, they don't want you to go to the next investor. So once again, it's about value proposition and being proactive in getting it out to the right eyes, so to speak, eyeballs. There's so many methods. Those are the two you could just try out.
Thank you, sir. We have a question from Nigeria, and I quickly want to take that. One of the problem in my field is the ability to project or predict future values of shares using past data and macroeconomic issues. Is there an AI agent for that? To be able to predict future values of shares using past data, is there an AI agent for that?
You could build one, but okay, let's be factual. Yes, there was this AI agent I was following because I also involved in those kind of things. They built it, so I can't remember the name now, where they put 4 models and they were feeding it past data, and they gave it $10,000 to see how it would trade over a period of time. 4 models or 5 models were trading with that money over a period of time. So that if you're interested in that, you search, you will see people that have solved some of those problems. It's left to you now to make sure you do your due diligence, because you put your money into such things, they do tell you that you could lose everything. You don't go into debt. So, but there are agents that can do that. Or you could try building yours and try it with $1. See what happens. But there are loads of agents that do that, AI tools that do that.
Thank you so much, sir. We're going to go to PSK now, but I have a question for PSK. Then PSK will ask his own question. All right, so this question is this, sir. As a church, as an organization, how can we use this AI that we are talking about to cause a cultural shift in the body of Christ?
Okay, number one thing is this.
Yeah, go
Okay.
ahead, sir.
Okay, just look at it today. Look at the demography of our audience today in the West, or even in Nigeria. Most people consume social media content almost 50% of their time. They consume it, even if data is expensive. They are watching other stuff. They are watching skits. They're watching YouTube content, music. Some of those contents are changing their mindset. They might even be Christians, but by the time they watch all sorts of stuff, they are losing the connection that they have. The problem is that market or that channel, you rarely see a lot of godly content in there. And when you see the content, it's somebody talking to somebody preaching at somebody. It is not a movie. It's not dramatic. Meanwhile, the competition or the thing that you're trying to pull them from, the content is so addictive. It's so dramatic. So they watch a movie and they're thinking about that movie. They are acting like that movie. They want to drive their car the way they saw them driving the movie in that movie. They want to dress the same way. They even want to use the same words. Imagine if the church or if a church can enter that space. Before, the limitations was the budget for maybe creating a music video, the budget for making a movie. Imagine if a church can start creating content about what we are preaching about. Maybe you're preaching about holiness or whatever, and you put it in a movie form or in a drama form, and somebody watches it. And they keep watching it, and you're able to create this content regularly. Imagine the transformation that will happen. Imagine how those people will want to come to the congregation. Imagine how they would want to connect online to that congregation, because now the thing that they already are connected to, you're giving it to them, but with a different mindset now, which is the Christian mindset. So I'm saying we can use AI to make our message a bit more value to the message we have. The same message we have, we can put it in video form, we can put it in movie form, we can put it in music form, and people will love it and they will grab it and it will increase and make them flourish. That's what I'm saying. And now we can do that. That happened to hire the whole of Hollywood.
Thank you so much, sir. Over to PSK, sir.
Dennis?
Yeah, I want you to answer the question first. Then you give us the question you have for our facilitator.
Like I said, like you all know, one thing I'm sure of is that there's a shift. And if the church does not embrace that shift, we are going to be completely obsolete. And I'll give you one example. When we just came into England, one of the posh things they do is that they will give you an envelope for offering. So whatever you have, you fill in the details at the back of the envelope. For that generation, the day you come to church without a pen, you will have your envelope, your funds, but then there will be no pen to write whatever you want to write. And that can, one way or the other, stop your offering for that day. But guess what? What the whole AI and the shift has done to church now is that if I know some people who give their offering for the week at one go, they just do a transfer. I know people who do their tithe and their offering at the same time via bank transfer. That is not possible before. And I can tell you, when we moved in here to the new venue of the church, at our because it's a bit of a valley. And so we tried all manners of internet until we were able to find a solution. And only God knows how much we're losing. Not because people didn't want to give, but because everybody has shifted away from the, let me use the word, analog way of giving offering into a digital way of giving offering. And so if any church now is operating and the broadband, the internet of the church, the fiber optics or whatever the church is using as their mode of internet, if it's not strong enough, they will just realize that without anybody casting spell on the church will struggle financially. That's one bit of it. I was talking to our moderator. I don't know how to use Canvas. I've never used it before. But the moment I heard Canvas, I suddenly realized, I've heard this before, that people use it to design. And, like Godslove. Let me also use Godslove as an example. I remember when he was in London, he used to do magazine, church flyer, and everything. If that's what Godslove is still doing today, I'm sure my sister Pamela will have said, boy, get out there and get something better to do with your life. So it's a shift. When Godslove does and build, then he knows me. I will go all the way out. We'll do like 10,000 flyers. I will give it to people who are going to get paid for leafleting the whole place. But that's not necessary anymore. That's again AI, whether we like it or not. Because I know some of these apps are running under some of them under AI. So guess what? We are doing Baobab conference now. The whole church, we are only 3 or 4 of us here. The conference have started. Tomorrow, we are still going to be online. But effectively, we've started the conference. We've done flyers. So without printing one single paper, whether an A4 or A3 flyers, we are running the conference. If we had this conference in church today, we are not going to possibly have 100 people. Pamela is not going to fly all the way from California. Eugene is not going to fly all the way from Geneva. And all the people who joined from Nigeria, I've seen one of my MDs or 2 of my MDs on the platform. They are not going to come and join and travel all the way from wherever they had to come and join us. So what we are saying is that we could do church. We could send our message out via this AI platform without necessarily congregating. While I know that the scripture says, do not forsake the assemblies of brethren. But I'm feeling that if the church does not do something on time, and this is where my problem is, that if the church doesn't do something on time, I pray we will not become like one of those Orthodox church that have a massive building, have a massive hall, have a massive amenities, but there's nobody going in there. I'm not acting like I have the knowledge. I'm not an IT person, even though Godslove has challenged my mute tonight, and I don't know how I'm going to do that. But then the question is this. I am one of those, let me put it in a little brain, that looks into the future. Godslove will say to you, maybe when tomorrow will come, I will fight him then as my brother. Sir, the world is not going to wait for us. Blah, blah, blah. I will go to his office, I will talk. Again, just because I see the future. I don't have the solution now. But I just know that in the next 10, 15 years, we are not going to be doing church the way we are doing church now. And if we don't wake up, City of Day will be one of those churches that will not be kind. But if we can wake up and get ourselves together, we can be at the forefront. I don't have a solution yet, but I feel so strongly that we are not going to continue church the way we are continuing church now. And again, it's not a problem for me. I'm getting to retirement. I've been preaching for 36 years, so I'm ready to leave. But then the question now is this: What happened to the next generation? What will the next generation do? How are we looking forward to either put the church into AI or bring AI into the church, such a way that the church will be ready with the technological advancement that is knocking on anybody's door. And so for me, that's the reason why we have something like this. Now I'm going to ask Godslove a question that he has not answered. Somebody asked him, how can we use both historical and current data? So Godslove, I'm going to please put across to you. Like, I'm involved in properties. So I want to be able to look at a property, put the address. So we need to work. Now, if I know, so I have some IT, I have Rashid, I have Prince, I have few guys who are in the church who are IT professional. And I don't mind sitting down with them. But let me take, for example, now, just give you now, you've said to us a whole lot of things. You know how in chemistry class those days, how they will talk to us about hydrochloric acid or tetrasulfate 6 acid. But we don't know it. They just say it's a burning acid, but we don't know what it is. So you said a whole lot of information to us today. You are coming back tomorrow, by the way, even though Pastor Kola Adeshino of this MD, this group managing director for Sahara Energy, is the one preaching tomorrow. But you are coming back because we are going to ask questions again from you. We don't want to go beyond time. So I'm saying that I'm into property. I want to be able to get to some place. Physically now, I can go and resource some property that are on the market. But then the cost of valuation, if I don't pay the surveyor, pay the QS, pay a lot of people, I might not be able to get. Is there something? Is there a way we can build something that we can get all of these things without spending all of this money repetitively? Is there a way? So if there's a way, we might not be able to handle that because our time is fast spent. But please think about this tomorrow. Let's look at if we have to get some people together that will have to do a funding. We are ready. Now I'm going to say this. If you're a member of this church and you have something better, an app that you think you need a sponsor for, we can work together. We can find funding for you. Not because we're saying we have it, but we can look at how we can put together some group of people who will be ready. Godslove will be part of it. He will look for his people in Silicon Valley that can come over and see how we can go about this. And so, because our time is fast spent, Godslove and Pamela, I want to say a big, big thank you to you. Thank you so very much. We're going to see you tomorrow again. And please, for everybody on the platform, the person coming tomorrow, like we said, is the group managing director for Sahara Energy. He has a lot. He built that company from zero, from nothing, to $1 trillion company, $1 trillion company now. One of the foremost voice in energy transformation in Nigeria. And I know that he has a lot of things to tell us. How he started, where he is, how we can start, and how we can scale up. Thank you so very much. I will hand over back to the moderator. God bless you. Thank you very much for every participant all around the world. We want to appreciate you. The over 200 and something participants today. Please, let's make the world fly around. Call somebody. Tell somebody that can be of benefit, that you think can benefit from this thing. Tomorrow, let's double the number. God bless you all. I love and I appreciate every one of you. Thank you for coming. God bless you.
Thank you so much, sir, for tonight. Thank you for putting this together. It's been an amazing time. I can imagine what is going to happen tomorrow and Friday and Saturday. It's going to be explosive. If you're joining us for the first time at the City of David, there is a link in the chat box. Please do well to click that link and give us your details so we can reach you. And do you know that this broadcast today is also on YouTube? Go to YouTube, COD Kent, at COD Kent, and you can go back and watch. You can go back and get all the resources you need. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. We'll see you again by 7 p.m. tomorrow. By the grace of God, it's going to be an explosive time again. Thank you. Have a beautiful night rest, and God bless you.